Yankees and the Astros will pick back up tomorrow for Game 6. Yankees lead in that series 3-2.
The series that has been, huh?
Great pitching matchup tomorrow. Severino and Verlander as the Astros try to get it to a Game 7 on Saturday. Montgomery back on the mound to face Bellinger. What are your thoughts about that series with the Yankees and the Astros?
Well, I'm just thinking, you know, the Yankees had to win the wild card. They lost the first 2 in Cleveland, won the series. Lost the first 2 in Houston, have a chance to win that series. Some magic going on for those Yankees, but boy, great players in Houston, and they'll be at home in front of their home fans.
A swing and a miss by Bellinger. Montgomery with a strikeout. First out of the inning. Bellinger with a 3-hit game. He'll finish 3 for 5. Montgomery will always have his moment to remember. At the final out in the World Series, that Game 7.
Mike Martinez with a little ground ball to Chris Bryant. 5-3 on your scorecard. 108 if you're counting.
Well, you got to give Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer, the Ricketts family, the ownership, great job here changing the culture of the Cubs and turning them into a winner as Puig bounces one through for a base hit. That's his 2nd hit of the game.
This little sinking fastball from Montgomery, well placed here by Puig up the middle. I think the Cubs are going to have to be in the market for a starting pitcher. They can either pick a mid-level guy, but really the 3 guys that I see coming out are Arrieta, their own Arrieta, Yu Darvish, and if he opts out, Tanaka for the Yankees.
Yeah. Now that's going to be an interesting offseason for Chicago. By the way, you see Roberts there just telling Yasiel Puig, whatever you do, do not run. Stay right there, Yasiel. That is the brightest red light you could possibly put up for Yasiel Puig. It was interesting hearing from Jake Arrieta prior to his start yesterday, the day before. Forsythe in the right field. Arrieta was. He answered the questions.
Yeah,
he was talking about his time here in Chicago, and he was willing to go there. I was not sure he would go there, having to make a start yesterday for Game 4 of this series. But you know, they turned him around, and give him a lot of credit as well. What changed Arrieta from his time in Baltimore to what he became, a Cy Young Award winner with the Chicago Cubs. He got a great ovation on his way out. Jed Hoyer, general manager.
Well, it was great work by the Cubs and his pitching coach Chris Bosio. Great work by Jake himself to turn himself around, where you know all the work he's done not only on the mound but off the mound with his diet and his workouts and all those things are going to make him a very attractive free agent.
Arrieta winning yesterday's game, 3-0 in elimination games for Jake Arrieta as a member of the Chicago Cubs. Only gave up 3 runs in 21 plus innings. And by the way, Arrieta's win yesterday was his 5th postseason win, which tied him for the most in Cubs history. Hernandez, a high fly ball. Is he going to do it again? Kike Hernandez has done it again. His 3rd home run of the game. It is a 2-run home run, and Hernandez has hit 3. Ties a major league record for most home runs in a game in a championship series. Last time it was done, Adam Kennedy of the Angels. Bob Robertson on that list. George Brett on that list. Whoa. And now Kike Hernandez with a 3 home run game. Wow. What a performance. A day he will never forget. Boy, 2-run home run, 7 RBIs for Kike Hernandez to make it 11-1.
7 RBIs for Kike Hernandez. The Cubs have scored 8 runs in this entire series.
7 RBIs is a new league championship series record for a single game. It had been 6. There was a Cub on that list. Aramis Ramirez did that in 2003. Will Clark, Johnny Damon, each with 6 RBI games in an LCS. And now Hernandez with 7, and now Barnes into left center with a base hit. Record-setting night. What?
And the best reactions you've ever seen.
That Dodger dugout erupting along the first base side.
Ball was thrown back on the field.
Oh,
Chris
nice.
Woodward, the third base coach, got it.
When the Wrigley tradition really pays off for a player with a historical night, throwing the ball back on the field. There's a line shot back up the middle, base hit for Culberson. Charlie Culberson with 3 hits. Culberson 3 for 5 tonight, hitting in the 8th spot in the batting order. And now Jock Peterson is going to pinch hit. I have to laugh because Dave Roberts, you know, he pours through the lineup with us, which is great. We get to dive into the manager, talk about why he's making moves. He goes, you know, I feel like we need a run producer in that cleanup spot. So he moved Hernandez out of the cleanup spot. And he drives in 7.
And he became the run producer.
Sets a new LCS record with 7 RBIs. Maybe he's found a spot in the 6 hole.
Boy, that's great to see. What a night. Magical.
'25-year-old Puerto Rican Kike Hernandez. Guy that has played all over 7 different positions this year. He played every position that you can play in a baseball game except pitcher and catcher. Last year proved himself as a versatile utility piece. Dodgers got him as part of that big deal, 7-player deal that included Deke Gordon. Miami Marlins, originally with the Astros, then the Marlins, now in his 3rd year with the Dodgers, and he has had a night that will live forever for him.
But when you see players who have big nights, sometimes they try to humble it off, like, well, you know, I had a good night. Not Kike.
No, he's all in.
He can barely believe it. Nice to see.
Jock Peterson at a 2-2 count. It is 11-1 Dodgers. And the clock is ticking to a trip to the World Series. Kenley Jansen for good measure, and what would be a tune-up outing for Jansen. Kershaw goes 6 tonight, in line for the victory. And the biggest smile you can have from Kike Hernandez. Swinging a foul by Peterson. Not much for that man to do at this point or in this series. The Dodgers have just had the Cubs number so far. 3-2. Peterson grounds it foul.
Just tells you the difference kind of a year can make, as the Dodgers had to watch the Cubs celebrate after the Cubs won Game 6 of the League Championship Series against the Dodgers last year, and they're turning the tables a year later.
Yeah, beating Kershaw, celebrating here at Wrigley Field, the Cubs. And Dave Roberts pointed out, said, look, you know, when it was all said and done, you look back on it, the Cubs were a better team. They were a better team. They outlasted us. They earned their trip to the World Series. But Roberts, with complete confidence, wouldn't call it arrogance at all, but extreme confidence in his ball club this year, stating the fact that he thinks they are the better team. They are the best team, as a matter of fact. There is a strikeout, and the inning is over. You can call him Senor Octubre. Kike Hernandez with 3 home runs in the NLCS Game 5. What a night. 3 homers, 7 RBIs for Hernandez. It's 11-1. Emphatically marching their way to the World Series. They are up 11-1 as Bryant faces Kenley Jansen. Jansen in to get some work here in the 9th inning. He has been the dominant force in the middle of a dominant bullpen. By the way, if the Dodgers bullpen here in Jansen right now, if he finishes the game and the Cubs do not score, the Dodgers will set yet another record for the most consecutive scoreless innings in a postseason from a bullpen. They are 2 outs away from passing the Yankees as Bryant sends one out to left field, and there is Kike Hernandez to make the catch. What a scorebook moment for Kike Hernandez, and if you've got that on your card, that is one to keep. 3 home runs from the 6th batter in the lineup. Solo shot in the 2nd, grand slam in the 3rd, 2-run home run in the 9th for Hernandez. A day after the anniversary of Reggie Jackson's 3 home run game against the Dodgers in Game 6 of the '77 World Series. Hernandez is the first Dodger ever to hit 3 home runs in a postseason game.
More and more records.
Jansen facing Anthony Rizzo. That's impressive how many fans have remained here at Wrigley Field. They want to see one last go around. It'll be a huge ovation for the Cubs, celebrating another division title for Chicago, back-to-back division championships. And they're staying to the last moment as Rizzo hits a high fly ball that is going to send Puig to the track, and he's got it for the out. Out number 2. Kike Hernandez hasn't missed much. Missed the high five. Look at Puig's like back in. That was after the first home run, and so this time around Puig says no.
You don't know how to high five. That's about all he hasn't done right tonight. Puig is saying first fly ball to left field, second fly ball to center field. This one's coming to center field.
You're next. Taylor. Cubs down to their last out.
That's Mr. MVP right
Yeah,
there.
I think so. Looking at Justin Turner, he got my vote. And tremendous postseason overall, but especially here in the League Championship Series. We'll have all of that following the game, the unveiling of the MVP, and handing out the Warren C. Giles National League Championship Trophy. And the Dodgers, who watched the Cubs celebrate in Game 6 of the NLCS last year right here on this field, are about to turn the tables in 2017. Line shot, and it is caught, and the ball game is over, and the Los Angeles Dodgers have won the pennant. The Dodgers are headed to the World Series for the first time in 29 years. What a night for the Dodgers, and what a team they have been. The team with the best record in the major leagues this season, 104 wins, a sweep of the Diamondbacks in the division series, and they take down the Chicago Cubs in the league championship series in 5 games.
3 home runs by Kike Hernandez, a record set with his 7 RBI, a record now set for the bullpen, 23 consecutive scoreless innings in the post, and on their way to the World Series.
An 11-1 final. And for the Cubs, the end of the line, another successful season, a division title. And it ends right here at Wrigley Field as the Dodgers celebrate their first pennant since 1988.